Can you see every pore in my face? Good grief. Hey everyone, welcome back. Okay, so I'm gonna be making a video based on Hairspray lore that I made up. Wonderful, right? Okay, so if everyone knows or doesn't know, I am Mama Edna Turnblad on TikTok.
Slay.
Wonderful, right? So within this TikTok, I've done many lives. Within those lives, I have a lot of lore. The lore that I have made, I found out actually can or at times parallels the actual lore from the Hairspray book that I didn't even know existed. I actually don't have a specific script, but I do have my lore like written down. So if anyone has other opinions on how certain things work or how you think that these stories should have gone or something like that, do not hesitate to let me know in the comments. Make a TikTok about it, whatever you want to do, because I love these stories that I have basically made, and hopefully it catches on, because I would love to see a second Hairspray movie with a lot of the lore. Some are theories, others are just my personal opinion on where I think they went. So let's get started. So first we're going to start with Tracy and Link. So Tracy went off to her college doing her thing. Link went off to do his music career. He just disappeared from planet Earth. We don't know where he went. But Tracy, on the other hand, went to college. They broke up. They do not match anymore. They just don't want to do long distance. Understandable. Who wants to do that? Anyway, so Tracy drops out of college because she wants to pursue more of the dance and singing and acting. So she joins a community theater and does multiple gigs at different places. Sooner or later, she gets a talent agent, and that talent agent wants to take her and make her famous. She gets gigs at small venues around town, but sadly, it doesn't last long. Moving on, she becomes a talent agent in the same company that actually, supported her, helped her do her little thing. Alright, so let's move on to Link. Link, we don't know where he went. Now, Link went off to do his music career. He has not had any contact with anyone in Baltimore. He does not care at all. He just wants to get out of Baltimore and do his own music thing. From what we know now, I would think that he got into another relationship, and there we go. There's Link. We don't know where Link went. So let's move on to my bestie, Edna Turnblad. Edna here, if you don't know, she has now made a living on TikTok. But after the show, Corny Collins, ended, she got her coin-operated laundromat because Tracy made enough money to give her that laundromat that she's been waiting for her whole life. Edna has her coin-operated laundromat, living, thriving, surviving, and has a TikTok now. Wilbur. What has happened to Wilbur? Well, Wilbur still owns the Hardy Har Har Hut. Now, he's older, he has Alzheimer's, he forgets things very easily. Edna is basically his caretaker. So, him and Edna are very close, they love each other, but Edna has to be his caretaker because if she isn't, then Wilbur will basically just be out in the street because he won't know what he's doing. There's Wilbur. Wilbur doesn't have much of an interesting story. That's basically it. Velma. So, Velma, if you haven't seen the alternate ending to Hairspray, Velma goes to jail.
You can't arrest me. Oh.
I expand on that. She has life in prison, and from what the book said, she got arrested for tax evasion. Let's move on to Penny and Seaweed. Now, this is one of my favorite love stories. Penny and Seaweed After the You Can't Stop the Beat, they moved on, had a very happy life together. In 1967, they got married. I know, very specific, but that's what the book said, so we're just gonna go with it. I assumed that they got married anyway, before I even knew the book said something about it. In the 70s, now this was my idea, the 70s they had a child, and they named their child Inez, based after Seaweed's sister. Little Inez, the baby. Penny and Seaweed were hesitant to have the baby, and Penny had a job as a lawyer, and Penny felt like she would not be a good mother because she would always be at work. So with her thriving and surviving, they just made the conclusion that they will have a baby, and hopefully they will have enough time to raise Inez to be a good, independent woman. So Inez is a very healthy, very great, very sweet and kind and very well-mannered young lady. She does a lot. She sings, she dances. She has a lot of her mom and her dad in her, mainly her dad, and Penny and Seaweed are very proud of her. She is a prodigy in school. She is a triple threat. She can sing and dance, and she is very good at math. I would assume that in the future, Inez would become a math teacher in the future. I know, right? Not a theater teacher, but a math teacher. And I think that that is her future job. Moving on to Penny's mom, Prudy. Now, Prudy got admitted into a mental hospital because she went psycho after she found out that Penny and Seaweed got married and had a child, because she just does not like black people at all. Like, no matter how many times people try to convince her, she does just not like black people at all. She got admitted to a mental hospital because she was just going into mental relapses, and she just could not control her temper, could not control her anger, was constantly getting depressed, was constantly going in outrages. She would even hurt people. I mean, she was just so angry, so she had to be admitted into a mental hospital. Motormouth Maybelle and Edna are best friends. They are best friends till this day, and they will always be best friends. They love hanging out all the time. They go out and get coffee. They go to a small cafe in Baltimore every Saturday. That's the lore that I made in my live streams. I am just so excited for, Edna's future with Motormouth Maybelle. Courtney Collins, we also don't know where he went. The Courtney Collins show went off the air back in 1967, same time that Penny and Seaweed got married. But all of the nicest kids in town grew up, and he was just like, we don't really want to get more people on the council, so we'll just cancel the show. So the show went off the air, and Courtney just fell off the face of the earth, just like Link. I would assume that Courtney now is just a normal guy. He got a girlfriend. I assume that they got married and is living a very happy life. He doesn't have any children. I don't think he really wanted children, but he enjoys living with his wife and has a good life. Moving on to Mr. Pinky. Mr. Pinky passed away. He passed away just of old age because he was quite old. And wondering about relationships. Did Tracy ever get into another relationship? That is something I need to develop more. A lot of the things that I'm saying now are still lore that I want to make, but I hope everyone has a great day. Keep living, thriving, surviving, doing your thing. If you aren't already, follow me on the Editor Blood official TikTok. The link will be down in the description in the Linktree. Have a great day, y'all, and latest taters.